Today I'm going to be making a recipe celebrating my mom, Sally. She's wonderful. Mother's Day is coming up, and this is a recipe that I created a long time ago, but I think it's the perfect Mother's Day brunch recipe. So I invited you to come in and join me for the video. Thank you so much for saying yes.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, this is a great recipe, and it's so fun and unusual and different, and it's so nice for spring and summer weather. It's just really fantastic. It's something different. So I hope you like it.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I love everything you make.
Oh, good. She's my mom. She's my biggest cheerleader. What can I say?
She's the best daughter in the world.
Ah, stop. She's the best mom in the world. So today I'm going to be making a recipe that is so good for breakfast or brunch. It is peach raspberry breakfast pies. So good, so different, and perfect for spring and summer weather, especially because they use peaches, which is usually only something you can get in the spring and summer anyway. Okay, so first we're going to start by making our little crust, and it's so easy. I have some almond flour here. Next we're going to be adding some sugar, baking soda, and salt. You want to dump that in?
Sure.
And I have some vegan butter here. Let's see. Chop this up a little bit, make it a little bit more manageable. This other little piece we're going to be using later. And finally, our last ingredient is some vanilla extract. And if you wouldn't mind just starting to kind of mix that up with a fork.
Okay. I like to get my fingers in there to do this.
Yeah, it works too.
It does kind of melt the butter.
The butter, that's right. So after you sort of got it going a little bit, we can add our water, which is just 1.5 tablespoons of cold water. Add that in, helps to kind of bring it all together. I have to say my mom taught me how to bake. She's the reason why Peanuts Bake Shop was born, which is my cookie kit. Jump on audreydunham.com to find that. She inspired me in so many ways. She taught me how to make pancakes, waffles, spaghetti.
You're a lot better grip than I am now, though.
No, I don't think so. But we do have a lot of fun on the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas. It is basically the two of us. We're the only ones that cook for the 14 to 16 to 20 people that we have, right? It's just, it's down to us two.
Well,
right?
your dad actually has
that's true.
Lately.
All right, that looks great to me. Everything has come together really beautifully.
Yeah,
Let's see, it's nice and crust-like. Grab our baking sheet and line it with a sheet of parchment paper. Did you know that you can get parchment paper sheets like this? You don't necessarily have to buy them in a roll. You can actually get them in flat sheets like this.
You have to order them online? Or?
I do. I get them on Amazon, and so I'll provide that link on audreydunham.com as well so that you can easily find it. Now I've taken the dough, I've divided it into half, and now we're going to divide this in half again. Yeah, so even, just like that, the best you can do. Roll it into a ball, and then you flatten it with your palms, just like that. And if you see chunks of butter, that's perfectly fine. They'll melt into the crust and it'll be delicious. Okay, so then you just pinch up the edges, just like a little pie or a little tart, if you will. I think if it looks a little messy or rustic, that's even better, really. You don't want it too perfect. I mean, you can make it perfect if you want, but it's not necessary.
No, rustic is rustic.
Yeah, why not? Especially when it's this sort of thing where it's a pie that doesn't use any sort of tin. I think it's kind of fun to make the edges a little rough. Okay, you want the edges to go up a little bit more, just so that it kind of creates a little cradle for the toppings. All right, next we mix up our filling. You can take fresh or frozen peaches. Either way, you want to cut them into slices and then cut each slice into thirds. So we've already done that. We have a cup of peaches here, nice fresh peaches. And to this, we want to add, can you do a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon? Maybe like a pinch or so of nutmeg. Nutmeg's pretty powerful, so you want to make sure you just do a pinch. And lastly, we just need a teaspoon of sugar. You can always add more if you like things really sweet. To make the stirring a little easier, let's transfer this all to that same bowl that we used to make our crust. And since this recipe is vegan, there's no cross-contamination to worry about. And I love the fact that with vegan baking, you can pinch the dough and try it and not have to worry about salmonella or anything else.
Food poisoning.
Exactly. Okay, so we have our sugar and our spices nicely coating the peaches just like this. And let's set this aside for now.
Okay.
We just need to add some raspberry jam to our little tarts here. 2 teaspoons to each crust. Okay, I'm just helping you out, smoothing this over, spreading it all the way to the edges. All right, and then the last thing we do is just divide up those peaches amongst each little pie.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna help you. Watch. Okay. This is how I do things. Look how yours are in this perfect line and mine are just kind of cattywampus over here. Anyway, hopefully they taste good.
Mine are in a row. It's because I was a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, there you go. She
have
was.
to teach kids to walk in a line.
I know. Yeah, just having twins, having them just to walk, period, is a challenge sometimes.
The pies are walking in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Okay, so let's make our topping. Last little step here. Let's grab that same bowl, because I don't want to dirty anything up. We're taking some uncooked, rolled, old-fashioned oatmeal, throwing that in. In this bowl, we have some coconut sugar. Would you mind throwing that in there? You can also use just regular brown sugar. Either one will work. And we need a little bit of flour. I'm using a gluten-free all-purpose flour, but just a regular all-purpose flour would work as well. Now we have some ground cinnamon going in. And then our final ingredient for this topping is more of that vegan butter. Chop it into pieces to make it a little bit easier. And you don't want this butter to be room temp. It can make things a little sticky. You want it either really cold or somewhat cold. And mix up that topping. And this is just kind of like one of those oatmeal crumbly toppings, the really crunchy, delicious ones that you find on top of little pies or big pies. I think that looks pretty good. And then if you want to, you can get your fingers in there and really finish up the job. We take these little pies, put some crumb topping on each one. I have to say, I always love the fact that you and I always got along really nicely. We were not the mother and daughters that fought. We were not catty to each other, I don't think, was I?
Up until you were about 5 years old.
Oh, okay. Ages 0 through 5, I was a mess.
Constantly.
I like adding that little raspberry on top because it shows people what flavors they can expect. I mean, they're so cute. I mean, look at the little jam sticking out in the
Yeah, it's gonna go all over.
Yeah.
Nice and bubbly.
And finally, we put them in the oven for 30 minutes in a preheated oven. It is already nice and piping hot at 350 degrees. Thankfully, I made some this morning, so I'm not gonna make you wait 30 minutes.
Oh boy.
Okay, so there's one last thing we can do to make them look even more magical. Sprinkle them with a little bit of sugar, and if you have some coarse sugar, that actually stands out a lot more and it looks really sparkly and pretty. Then, we also want to take some maple syrup.
Oh boy.
And just drizzle it right over the top. Yeah, the crust stays together really nicely. Look at this. Lots of peach and raspberry and deliciousness on top.
That is perfect.
Mmm.
Really, really wonderful.
Do you like that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thank you. Perfect. Wow. That's a big compliment. So cheers to you, my mom.
Cheers.
Yay.
To the best daughter and the best cook in the world.
No, this is all about you today. But thank you. If you decide to try this recipe, please let me know what you think in the comments below. I would love to know. All right, Mom, you want to help me sign off?
Sure.
Okay. Now what you do is you just point right in the center, okay? So if you haven't done so already, please subscribe by clicking right here. To catch some more recipe videos, please click right here. And to get instant notifications anytime that I post a new video, be sure to click that bell. Right? Okay. Thank you, Mom. See you next time.